So here we are at the dance project, and here's how it sounds like.
Cause you seem confused. You don't need to know just who I am. Let's move to the...
As you can see, the winner of this IG poll was Reese. Also, a big shout out to Johnny Stratton, Abus Records, Featherfall Music, and Wire Candy for sharing my last video on their story. If you wanna shout out on my next video, make sure to share this video and tag me in your story. So let's get right into it. And today we're making this specific sound. Anyways, I'm leaving the free download link at the description below if you want to get it for free. So let's get right into it. And first of all, we have this layer of Spire. Here's the processing. It's pretty simple, as you can see. Let's start doing the preset here. So first of all, let me open up a new Spire. Here we go. And copying the MIDI. It's like this. And for now it just sounds like this. First of all, we're gonna put the mode on mono 1 and the voices up to the max. Then we're turning down 2 octaves the first oscillator, turning up the density a bit, and the voices up to 9, also the width. And now sounds like this. Alright, for our second oscillator, we're turning the volume half the way also, down 2 octaves, and the fine up to 15 cent, and the fine up to 15, and sounds like this. We're also turning up the voices up to 9 in the second oscillator, and the width, and now sounds like this. For our third oscillator, we're turning the volume up to 300, something around there, down 2 octaves, also the wavetable all the way up, and leaving everything as it is. And finally, our last oscillator, oscillator 4, we're turning down 1 octave and volume also 300 there, and the wavetable. Now for our filter part, we are using the Scorpio and the black low pass 4. Then turning the cutoff somewhere around half and the resonance up a bit. Now down here we're turning the glide half the way, the attack to something around 200 and release to 100. Also all this all the way up like this, and now sounds something like this. And now we're going with the envelope 2, turning all these things down and the release up a bit, somewhere around here, and going into the oscillator 1 pitch and oscillator 2 pitch 2, like this, and the amount all the way up. Now sounds like this. Now let's turn off this setting here and this down. And now we don't have the filter with the low pass. We're getting there, guys. And now we're using the effects built in Spire. Oh, first let's turn the X compression to 200 and putting this into warm. Now this tree all the way up and the low cut something to 200 like this, and the drive up a bit and dry wet to 200, and now something like this. Cool, now let's go to the phaser. So for the phaser, we're turning down the spread, feedback something more up, and the frequency all the way up, and also the depth and rate all the way down, and dry wet all the way up. Now sounds something like this. Alright, and that's it for the Spire preset. Now let's move on to the post processing.
Like, there are no rules. Like, if it sounds good, I'm just gonna do it.
First, let's turn down the gain a bit and add an EQ8 to roll off something around 135. So now we only get the low mids and mids. Now let's put a saturator, turn the drive something like 5 dBs, and the depth of the color something like 4. The output turning it down a bit, then the width all the way up, and the frequency to something about 2000 hertz. Let me save this real quick. Now let's add some white noise for the high end with the erosion. You can use the plugins you have in your DAW. I'm just using the ones that Ableton has, but let's add some white noise with the amount of 15 with bit up and something around there. And finally we have another EQ to cut something more of the lows. And that's it for the Reese bass. Now we need to add a sub, and you can use any sub you want, but I'm using this sound right here. And I feel like it needs some more low end. Yeah, you can use any sub you want. Let's make some sub real quick and copy the MIDI. Open up another instance of Spire and let's start. So sine wave down 2 octaves. Now let's add another oscillator, same sine wave. Let's turn this into mono and one voice. Sine wave, yep, down 1 octave, something like that. And let's see how it sounds, what we have so far. And there you go, there's your Reese bass. You can use it in any track you want. Remember, the presets are in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like, leave a comment, and follow me on my Instagram, where I'm putting a poll and let you guys decide which video you want to see next. The links are in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. See you all in the next one. Nos vemos. I'm leaving the preset. I'm leaving the download.